Sidak, aka Baon Corbin, aka Dolphy Ziegler, aka Andrew E. Kornick, aka Jolly B Driver, aka I Love You Solo Suka, aka Big Match Jan Cena Gang, aka Wow Wow Willie Mac, aka The Stray Balot, aka Magandang Umaga, aka The Good Bob Boy, yeah, 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 aka The Flanimal Bautista. I'll walk around the roasting pit of lechon, aka Filipino Heat, aka Jacob Puto, aka Cherokee Diaswang, aka your host. And joining me today is one of my dear friends, one of the people I share a deep connection with because we've had a couple of different conversations where we just shared our feelings, shared like memories, shared a lot of stuff, and um, I want to let people know that in my culture, the Filipino culture, we often have outsiders come in. Outsiders marry in, or we marry outsiders, or like we have friends come and they become part of our family. And it doesn't matter what race, color, creed you are. And in my culture, the Filipino culture, we will accept you no matter what. And it doesn't matter who you are or what you do, you're just a part of our family. And joining me today is Jagsfanbb. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. And I want to let the audience know for the rest of this interview, I'm going to refer to Jags as kuya, which is a respect term that means like older brother. So kuya, how you doing, man?
I've been doing good. How about you? Everything good?
Yeah, yeah, bro. I had a little time on the beach, as we say, and I've been able to just reflect and sit back. And you said these words about me that like uh, that like really hit me about like how oftentimes my what I say online doesn't reflect my true character.
hmm
And over the past like couple days, sitting on the beach, I just sat down and like I reflected. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to put out that energy out there because I don't want I don't want to interact with people like that. I'd rather just be with be putting out that energy where people want to be around you, people want to talk to you because
hmm
in my real life that's what I do. And like I don't really consider like my online persona like separate from my real persona. But sometimes when you
hmm
get in the weeds like that, you kind of express yourself and you don't like think about it. And that is an issue with me. And I think like I'm working on myself, like we all are. But I
Yep.
want to thank you for those words, man. And those that really hit me. I'm gonna tell you, that really
Yeah.
hit me.
I mean, I try to conduct myself online the way I do in real life, and obviously that's easier said than done when you have the anonymity of the just being behind a screen and a keyboard. You can let easily your more darker instincts, if you will,
Yeah.
out. But I am going to be 44 next month. I'm just I'm getting to the point where like I don't have the energy to be that. I rather just have good vibes and chill energy, talk, about my hobbies in a positive light,
Yeah.
except for WWE because I can't stand them, but that's beside the point.
Hey.
Um, so that's just where I'm at. And so when I see people that are like bringing negative energy into like the spaces I'm in, it's like, man, get that out of here. We don't need that. There's enough of that out in the world, especially on the internet.
Yeah.
Let's just have a chill, cool place where we can hang out, talk our nerd stuff, talk wrestling,
Yeah.
just chill and try to be a place where we can, relax and unwind from the day. Because, like I said, there's enough of that already out there in the world. I mean, just trying to drive to your workplace can, it cause you to crash out. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, you got a story
and
about that?
yeah. So yeah, that's how I look at it. So when I see people who are always just bringing, like I said, bringing that into the spaces,
Yeah.
I try to give them benefit of the doubt, but it eventually gets to the point where it's like, all right, we gotta call you out, even though I don't want to bring it to that point. But it's like,
Yeah.
negative vibes are, they're negative, so it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah. Um, I think also besides like the best part of like just interacting with people and putting out that positive energy is in our personal Discord, everybody hosts our fur babies. And boy, you
Hmm.
got such a sweet looking cat. I want to rub her belly so much. Give her ear scratches. Oh my gosh. You see my boys too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
I got 5 cats, and I love them all.
yeah.
Um. Yeah. We're not a cat family per se, but they're
It,
easier to raise than dogs right now, so that's what we have. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they're our kids. Just and like I have three. I have actually three human kids, but yeah, no, we'll always have, like you said, fur babies of some sort. I think what we're trying to do next is let this generation of cats, uh, morbid as it sounds, to die out, and then we'll look into getting a dog. We don't want to introduce a dog to these cats. Some of
Yeah.
them aren't the most outgoing or social cats, so it might not be a good idea.
Yeah, it goes how it goes. I
Yeah.
just when you like a picture and that's like the energy I like to put out. That's the energy I'm trying to put out because like I haven't told the story here yet. So a couple months back, my aunt sadly passed away of cancer, and
Hmm.
she had she had this dog. Um, his name's Rocco, and he was kind of like in a little bit of rough shape when I saw him like at like one of the family prayers because in our culture we do like 40 days of prayers after someone passes away, and I just noticed him. And I asked my cousin one day like, hey, would I be able to take him to go on walks with my dog because the doctor had told me that my dog was obese, and told me all these techniques of how to like ease his hip dysplasia. And like a couple months later, like he when I first found him, like he could barely like turn around. But um, as Kuya can say, he saw the videos of like how Rocco is running around now, and like
Hmm.
that's so heartening to me. um, yeah, man, it's yeah, like, and I'm gonna go into the origins of our space because whatever. I created a space, and the space was supposed to be for guys who were in a different, like what you were saying. We were like in an area where certain voices were louder than others on wrestling, and it was super negative, super cringy, super misogynistic, super just like everybody complaining about all of it. And it's just I wanted to have a space where like we could just, you know, be happy with ourselves. And I think that for the most part we've been successful.
Yeah, no, for sure. One of the things that is bugs me the most, it drives me crazy, is when people take wrestling way too serious. And I'll throw it out there. I don't care. You're talking about the Voices of Wrestling Discord, and it it's just gotten so negative, and I don't know. I would imagine a lot of it has to do with Joe mainly, but also Rich getting negative on AEW.
Yeah.
But then I also think a lot of people came in when Elon bought Twitter and they thought it was going to die. And so a lot of people that weren't in there before came in there, and it just felt like it poisoned the waters. Everything got super negative, and everything was getting like
Contentious.
well, like hyperbolic, like, oh, MJF was on the screen for 6 minutes longer this week. I'm never watching AEW again. And it's like, dude, just chill out, man. It's just wrestling. There's so many other promotions out there you can watch. Like, I watch AEW, I watch DDT. I'll hop into MLW. I hopped into TNA a little bit before it got the WWE,
Yeah.
partnership. there's so much out there you can watch. If AEW is not your jam for whatever reason, then stop complaining about it in a channel about AEW and bringing the vibes down, and just go watch something else that scratches that itch that you're looking for. There are so many companies out there. Even Noah's doing better now. We watched a
Yeah,
little bit of that, and that's doing much better.
yeah,
There's just so much out there. You don't need to be watching a promotion that drives you crazy. And if it is driving you crazy, don't be around people that are trying to enjoy it and bringing their good vibes down. That's just not a cool thing to do. I don't appreciate people that do that. I don't appreciate people that, become, hyperbolic about stuff. And like I remember even in our Discord,
oh yeah,
there was I'm not gonna mention names because, that's yeah, it's not worth it, but
yeah,
somebody in there was in one episode of Dynamite where MJF started the episode, and he was like, it's like 5 minutes in, and this guy was like, I'm going to turn this Dynamite off. I'm tired of the show starting with a promo. It's so much like WWE. Who cares? It's pro wrestling 101. That's American pro wrestling. It's not always going to be sports based. It's not always going to be sports entertainment based. Even WWE to a degree is now trying to be more pro wrestling, even if they're really not. They're saying they are,
yeah,
But at the end of the day, American pro wrestling is American pro wrestling. That's never going to change. And when you're doing weekly TV, you have to have promos. You have to have the storylines.
everything's going
I
to
feel,
repeat, man.
yeah, and it's like I feel bad that yeah, this isn't quite scratching that itch you want, but it's only 5 minutes out of a 2 hour show. Like, calm down, give it a chance. There's been times where I've turned Dynamite off because I was bored out of my mind, and I love AEW,
Yeah,
but it's like this just isn't doing it for me this week, so I'm not going to watch. It is what it is,
yeah,
and I just wish more people would have that frame of mind, that self awareness to just say, you know what, I'm bringing people down. I'm going to step away because I did that with Dragon Gate. One of the guys in our Discord is trying to get me to Dragon Gate,
yeah,
and the last time I watched Dragon Gate, I got in a really bad mood. It was bringing me down. I just could not get into it, and I was being very snarky.
yeah,
I felt like I maybe ruined it for a couple people. So about an hour in, I just stopped watching, logged off, and then I apologized to the guy a couple of days later, and I just realized, I gave Dragon Gate a shot, which is all he asked, and it's just not for me. I like people in the promotion, but it just doesn't work for me, and that's fine.
that's
Just
fine.
you have to
Yeah,
you just have to understand what works for you and what doesn't, and just don't bring the negative vibes into a space, because at the end of the day, I guess again, this goes back to there's so much of it already in the world. We got wars going on and stuff. We
yeah,
don't need any more negativity over pro wrestling.
yeah. Personally, uh, I noticed myself your words. Remember, like how I told you at the beginning of the show, your words about like, yeah, calm down. Because I would like go
Mm-hmm.
on to like live threads and like start shitting on whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like what I've done lately is I'm not watching live anymore. If I hear something's good, I'll watch it later on YouTube or what. I have Max, so I always have fast forward. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a poor boy. But but, but like you could always fast forward. You could always skip. Like
Yeah.
When I watch WWE, like I watch what I like to watch. I watch the Bloodline stuff. I watch the Yeet Man. I watch Big Match John. Like that's what I like. I like to watch what I like, and like even like the past like New Japan card that just happened whatever last weekend. I didn't want to watch it because there was nothing on that card that like really spoke to me. And then like on the Discord, I said like I don't feel like going there. I said like you're part of the problem, and I'm like I could respond to that, or I could just like post a meme, and I just posted a meme because that's a better thing to do. Because like
The
yeah,
the way I've looked at it is there's been times where I've written something out and deleted it 5 times, and then
yeah,
I just didn't hit enter. And I
yeah,
told myself straight up, I won the internet that day because I could have been snarky, I could have been, you know, a lack of a better term, an asshole.
yeah,
Um, but at the end of the day, what benefit does that bring to the discussion? It doesn't
yeah,
bring anything.
yeah,
So I'm just like, you know what? And I wish I did this more than I do. I'll admit it. There's times where I get very sarcastic and I didn't need to say something I needed to say. So I got to take my own, medicine, my own advice, and
yeah,
try to bring more positive vibes to the space. But anytime that I've kept found myself deleting something 5 or 6 times and just not posting, I I tell myself, hey, good job. You took your own advice.
You did it.
You just decided to be a better person, not let things get to you. And again, we all know that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
It's a knee jerk reaction to want to, own that person and get one up on them. And at the end of the day, I'm a very competitive person. It even comes into arguing. I'm very stubborn. So that's why I try to keep myself away from those situations because I hate that side of me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, like, anytime that I know, like, you like to do that too, but anytime in the past, especially lately, if you just decided not to engage, then awesome job, dude, because we need more people just being able to let things slide, not in a way that's will harm spaces over the course, but sometimes it's just like it's just not worth it. There's no point. Let that person think they won. They're the ones with a miserable life, miserable outlook, and have to like they have to be that kind of person. And at the end of the day, I feel bad that they have that mentality.
Yeah, because uh, if you let those those voices win, those voices in your head, they they talk to
you know,
me,
I
they
yeah,
understand, they
the
talk to
song
me.
went in my head too. Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, but you let those voices like that say, "Oh, I gotta get back at this guy. I gotta get back at him so I can win this," and you're like, "What are you
Hmm.
winning?" There,
Yeah,
there's two
exactly.
sides to that though. If you do it in a side of like from the side of like you're aloof, you're not, you're just like, because you've seen me when I do like goofy posting that has zero to do with whatever's being discussed. Um,
Yeah, it
just I
drives me
like to do that.
crazy.
I like to do that sometimes just like to lighten the mood if it's getting too deep. But then like some people like would be like, "Hey, what the hell? You're interrupting this." And I'm
Well,
like, ah.
like like I said, like sometimes it's not worth it. But just the other day, and I'm not going to name the Discord this time, is
Yeah.
they don't need it. But somebody made a comment about Mina going into. They were so tired of me, and they wish she'd go into John Laurinaitis' office, and I forgot what the rest of the phrase was. But pretty much, they were like, "I hope Mina goes in his office and gets raped," and
Oh,
everybody was like, "What the hell?" Like, and I responded back. I was like, "That's effed up and disgusting." And do you make a habit of wishing rape upon every woman you meet? Because like, there are times where you need to save your words so they have
yo.
more impact. And like,
Uh,
I don't even really speak up in in that Discord. And that was one time where I was like, okay, like this is taking too far. And that person got banned later on. So I give credit to the owners and the mods of that Discord. They did ban the person once the one of the people running the Discord found out. Um,
no, that's
and they were even, they were even like, this shouldn't have to be said, but that's not okay. And everybody was like, yeah, no, for sure. And so when you have somebody that's just upset MJF's on the TV, it's like, okay, well, that's whatever. But then you got people like that where it's like, okay, yeah, now we need to speak up. Like this can't be tolerated. This needs to be shut down.
yeah, yeah. It's you know, like that kind of stuff. It's just you think about stuff like what would force
And
someone to say
it,
that?
it's
That's
yeah, it's just
disgusting.
wrestling.
It's
That's my point. Like it's just wrestling, and you're wishing this professional wrestler gets raped because you're tired of them. Like, what are we doing here?
that's I'm like, that's what I hate about
Mm-hmm.
perpetuating this stereotype about wrestling fans all being misogynist,
Oh,
all being like disgusting,
dude,
all being like
seriously.
edgelords. It's like there's more to it than that. There's more to
Mm-hmm.
wrestling fans than that, but like those are always the loudest, grossest voices,
Yes,
and
for
like if
sure.
but and like especially like because I've talked to multiple female. Oh no, wait, Maura told me don't you say that. Multiple women fans. Thank you,
Yeah, I think
Maura.
it's how you phrase the term female. It can come across kind of
Yeah,
derogatory, even if you don't mean it that way. It can be perceived
yeah,
that way.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I
You
gotcha.
you could see I'm
Hmm.
I'm a work in progress. So like
Oh,
yeah,
we all are, dude. We all are.
yeah,
I'm the same. Like I said, I grew up in the South. I'm from Jacksonville, hence the term Jag fan. I'm a Jaguar fan, and I grew up in a church, and
Yeah,
my parents are from Tennessee, so y'all do the math. I married a Filipino woman from California, like Doc's already said, and there's a lot of learning and like deprogramming I've had to do for my environment growing up.
yeah,
And I'm always trying to be better, trying to understand things, for instance, like, the LGBTQ community, things like that, where it's not exactly the most accepted community where I'm from and where I live at, even though it's gotten a lot better as the years have gone on. But yeah,
oh
no,
yeah,
we're all trying to get better and learn and just be a better person overall. So that's why I used to run a Papa John's, for instance, and I would have people straight up lie to my face. And I'd have people that had my back there, my employees, be
mm,
like, hey, they're lying to you, right? They're just taking advantage of your kindness. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I'm not dumb, but they haven't burned me yet. So I have no reason not to trust them right now.
yeah,
And that's how I've always been. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I give them a chance to make a good first impression, no matter their race, gender, sexuality. None of that matters to me. I base everybody on who they are as a person.
yeah,
And then if they burn me, they burn me, and that's going to be on them, not on me. And they're going to be the
yeah,
person in the long run that is the one who gets hurt from that because they're the person who feels they need to do that to somebody. So I've always tried to be that person who's like, hey, I just base everybody on our each individual interactions, and if you're good with me, I'm good with you. And I've told people straight up, like, hey, this person's never. I know you don't like them, they've done some questionable things to you, but and I believe you and I like you, so I do believe you. But they also haven't done that to me yet, so I have no reason to be antagonistic with them or be bitter at them. Now, when they do, you'll have just been proven right. Which and I don't. It's like I don't believe them, but like I don't want to be that person that just takes everybody at face value. I
mm,
really want to treat every person individually because it could also just be sometimes people just don't mix. We
yeah,
both know that, and I can mix with somebody who doesn't mix with somebody else that I mix with, and so but that gives you no right to be mean to them just because they don't mesh with your other friend. It's just it's a big world out there. Not everybody's going to work together, but yeah, I'm glad that you're open enough and willing enough to try and better yourself and become a better person. Like I said, I'm turning 44 next month, and I'm still open-minded,
totally,
still learning things, still talking to people from different communities online, and just trying to learn different perspectives and stuff, and just trying to better myself because I've got 3 kids. My two youngest are in high school. They're going to be going out of the world soon. So the more I can learn about other people, hopefully the more advice I can give them.
yeah.
Besides myself just being a better person and being a better husband
That's beautiful, man.
and father. Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Like we're always, I always have the opinion that no matter how old you get, we're always learning, we're always changing, we're always evolving,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
yeah, man, I love hearing that. I love hearing that for you. I wish all the goodness for you and your family. It's like,
Same to you, man.
it's all love here, man. I'm- eventually we're gonna talk about wrestling. Eventually,
Yeah, no,
but
yeah, for sure.
but I'd rather talk. Like sometimes I'd rather. There's these things tangentially around wrestling that are really like interesting to me and like
Yeah,
uh
no, for sure. The wrestling fandom is, I won't say it's unique because I feel like it's very similar to any nerd
anime.
fandom,
Yeah,
but there's just more jocks and stuff in the wrestling fandom, so it's a little bit different.
yeah,
Or I should say they're jocks that are nerds that tell themselves they're not nerds. That's really what they are. So I
it's
think that
hilarious.
also, yeah, and I think that also kind of brings the negative vibes in because a lot of them want to get antagonistic, especially if you point that out. Just because they're like, oh, I played on the football, whatever. You know how those people are, and so I just think it's funny when like people come into the wrestling community and they're just like, wow, this is toxic, toxic. And I'm like, well, you haven't gone into the Star Trek or Star Wars communities then, because like
Oh
we ain't got
yeah,
none,
they
But
they were
it's just,
sending
it's
death
just tough.
threats to a child actor, man. That's
Yeah,
that's
I mean, it's the same way with like any like also like with like any entertainment
yeah,
fandom, like voice acting, VTubers, streamers, anything like that, where there's even the slight hint is of parasocialism.
Uh,
People get crazy, and we know with like the meet and greets with wrestling and stuff, especially when during the indie boom with the Bullet Club and everything. There
yeah.
was a lot of parasocialism going on. Like, oh, they're my friend. No, you paid $50 to get an
Uh,
autograph and a picture with them, and they appreciated your $50.
hey,
They're not your friend. So, I just think people gotta have to be able to step back
mm,
and understand that
just like,
hey, you're a fan and you can critique, but let's be normal about it,
yeah,
which I know is easier said than done on the internet.
I'm gonna bring this up a bit just to like kind of like add on to it, because like so a lot of like people became antagonistic to all those people who supported the elite Kenny Cody because they were seeing like the parasocial relationship where people were saying like those are my friends, this represents me, right? And then
Hmm.
like, but like I came from it like this, so like they're actually taking your money for you and making you feel good about it. And I'm sure like when I go to when you go to like a con, somebody one of those people are gonna be like Christina V or like Chris Sabat or because we're talking about these voice actors or one of my favorite is um Jim Cummings, right? And like you'll always have like a positive good vibes interaction with them at that point because you paid to be there and they're paid to like you. Um,
Yeah,
so like of course there's the other side of
and
that.
and don't forget these are professional liars.
Yeah, they're professional liars. So like of course like I mean there's this whole thing about Kenny Omega kind of like like in his did you ever watch the documentary they made about Kenny Omega where
No,
like
but I will say this real quick before you continue.
uh,
I also believe when you pay $50, whatever, they're appreciative of that. That's
yeah
legit. You are putting food on their table, so they are happy that you're there.
yeah
So I don't want to make it seem like that that's fake. No,
uh,
they're happy you're doing that. But
yeah
anyways, continue.
yeah well because my sister did go to the WrestleCon during WrestleMania and like her dream was to meet Mandy Rose.
Mm.
And you know, I mean, my sister kind of a pervert. So
Gotcha. So
but
she wants to meet Mandy Sachs, not Mandy Rose.
it is what it is. But
Hey, no
hey,
judgment. Hey,
hey,
no judgment.
hey, love is love. And like,
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
it made her day. She met like all these other wrestlers, but like Mandy
and
Rose
that's all that
put
matters.
that time in, like acknowledged her and like made her feel like that
Hell
was
yeah.
it was worth it. And like I'm happy when they have
Hmm.
those interactions because like
Sure.
sometimes like you read about wrestlers and like there's certain places where you should meet them. You should never chase like you ever hear that story about Rhea Ripley where you see them like on the YouTube like you see like the guys with like the figures chasing them like can you sign this, can you sign that, can you sign this, and so like
Yeah, that's messed up.
yeah, she had actually decided to travel solo this one time, and then so they chased her through the airport, and she didn't want to talk to them, and then she got lost and didn't know where her Uber was, and I think that's fucked. Um,
Yeah, that's messed up. I don't have any love for people like that because it's like, come on, man. They're just trying to live their life too. I understand when you become a celebrity, there's a certain part of your life and your
yeah,
privateness that you give up. You need to understand that. But there are still barriers. There are still lines you should not cross.
yeah,
And somebody's walking through an airport. It's obvious they're getting on a plane, which they're pressed for time, or they're getting off and they're just trying to get to where they're going. Leave them alone. Go to the
yeah,
show, pay the money to get the autograph. Just leave them alone. Would you want people coming up to you all the time when you're just trying to live your life? That's not cool. So those people that are doing it with malicious intentions because they're probably just going to sell that figure online on eBay. I have no love lost for them.
yeah.
I don't wish any ill will on them. I just don't think about them favor positively.
Favorably, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, you seen that picture of me and Aaron Solo.
Yeah.
He just happened to be at the restaurant, and like when I said, "Bro, I love you on like AEW. I saw you on, and like you're like really, really to me. I always like okay again to just put in Filipino culture. Whenever we see somebody Filipino like reach any kind of status, even like if it's like whatever, because Iron Solo was like a jabroni and Ring of Honor, but he's been in that company for like the full 6 years since opening. So
Yeah, just about.
if you think about it, like, so I looked, I saw him, I said, "What's up?" He seemed really appreciative about it, like that somebody would like,
Well, yeah, but you have to remember, Sea Gang is a little bit different than American Gang. It's most Southeast Asians are just sweethearts,
yeah,
and especially the older generation.
yeah,
If an auntie sees you, you could be 400 pounds and you're not eating enough. You need to come
yeah.
in and have a dinner.
Oh yeah.
So
Are you hungry? Did you eat yet? Doesn't matter. You have to
yeah,
eat.
yeah. So all Southeast Asian, or almost, to my understanding, almost all of them are
Yeah.
just they're sweethearts. They're very friendly,
Uh-huh.
and they just want people to have a good time. So I have
Yeah.
I have zero shock that Aaron was like, "Hey man, what's up?" I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. I appreciated him and like yeah, like and like I know like I'm not gonna name names because he might listen to this. So like like I say like a certain wrestler, like I grew up with a certain wrestler. We're like went to the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
church. And
Yeah,
like
I know you're.
and like I read like all this stuff of like, oh, he's such a weirdo. I'm like, yeah, 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 he's
Well,
pretty weird.
I'll just say this, like I said, no names, but I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about
Yeah,
because I've never felt that way. I've always felt the person was very normal and just a dude.
yeah, he's just a dude.
So yeah.
And like I'm like when I read stuff like that, like about like because I have friends that are in the business, friends people that I've known for like forever, and then like I see like these takes on them, and I'm like, you know, how can you
That'd be
say this
weird,
about
man.
somebody you don't know?
Well,
Like,
and that once again, that goes back to the fandom. People are just really weird.
yeah,
Like the whole Adam Cole Britt Baker thing. People got weird about that, and nobody still knows what the truth is. But now there's like this stigma on Britt Baker, and there's no proof behind it, just a bunch of hearsay. So I feel bad for her having to deal with that
yeah,
because I don't know if what's being said about her is true or not. If it is,
yeah,
I mean, that's still between her and those
yeah,
people. And
it's,
if it's not, that's even worse. It's like, well,
yeah,
then really. So I think that's not fair to wrestlers. I think it's 100% fair to critique their wrestling ability and their
yeah,
character work. But once you start digging into their personal life and you get nasty about it, it's like, okay, you need to step back and think about what's actually really worth it in life.
yeah. It's like kind of ridiculous. Like all those are nasty rumors about her.
Yeah.
I know, some people I know. I personally, I'll take it. I'll take, I'll take responsibility for myself for making like kind of like gross jokes about it. But like, it's like, dude, how whatever people do consensually in their own life, that's what they want to do. Fine. Right? But like when you that's like, well, in our personal Discord, we do it like as we don't do it as a character judgment because we all think wrestlers are all like whatever. We do it like as like a mostly it's like it's a joke mostly, not like seriously doing
Yeah,
character
it's lighthearted.
assassinations.
Nobody thinks ill towards Brit or anybody that was a part of those rumors. Um, it's just chuckling because we all have time.
Yeah,
Um,
I will say Adam Cole looks really good now. Um,
he does. He
he
does.
has like he has a bit of a spark that he had in NXT back and
Yeah, I don't know. You could make the argument that maybe there's something going on with his relationship with Brit before they broke up that was bringing him down, especially with the injury and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, no, since he came back, and not even that first time, but there's like a little like
it took a couple
interval there where
months.
he came back. Yeah, I don't know, something flipped. I don't know if it's just not having to worry about his relationship with Brit or whatever the case may be, but something changed. And yeah, he's like a different person again. And I know some people still are tired of seeing him. I've always been an Adam Cole fan. I just wish he'd evolve a little bit, but not too
Yeah,
much. 'Cause I still like the core of who he is. But I'm just happy to see, like you said, like that spark from like NXT coming back. Maybe he's just happy to be wrestling with Roddy and O'Reilly again, and maybe just be that simple.
yeah. Uh, it's like there's something to it about there's something to it about like just he looks he looks like he's enjoying
He,
life. And like you,
Yeah, he looks refreshed.
yeah,
Yeah, 100%. It just looks like he's just living his best life right now. And I can speak from experience. Right now I'm in between jobs. I got laid off for a lot of medical reasons that affected my attendance.
yeah,
Um, but as of like a couple months ago, I had lost over 50 pounds,
that's good,
and I'm
man.
still losing weight. I'm fitting into like clothes and stuff that I had grown out of from putting on too much weight.
Yeah,
So
hey, that's a good feeling, man.
yeah, exactly. And so like stress and things like that, because that job was really stressful, they do affect your mental and your physical health. So
Yeah,
again, with Brett going through her very serious medical issue,
yeah,
and then Adam going through his at the same time, that's a lot of stress. So now that they're both doing better, just from a pure friendship standpoint, he's probably happy that they're both are doing
hey,
much better.
yeah,
And
it's
then he
good.
just has to worry about himself. Now he moved back home. He's in Pennsylvania. He's probably just overall feeling so much better mentally that the physical part is just coming along naturally.
Yeah, because I mean, like he was in living in Florida since he went to NXT back like in 2017, 2018. And
Hmm.
I'm sure like going home and like being around your like I mean, wrestling fans are friends, but like being around your actual family, um,
Hmm.
there's a difference around being your family and having that support system there for you.
Yeah, for
Where
sure.
I mean, from like what I've seen, like when I saw him on Being the Elite and other vlogs, he seemed to have a really good relate. On like on the Kevin Steen show, I miss that show so much. It, it showed off like he had like a really close relationship to his mom, and you kind of hear it like when on his Art of Wrestling episode, like how close he was with like his friends and all this stuff, and just I think being around that system again, kind of like he probably feels happier, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, no, for sure.
People
Because
people always
he's
like,
he's one
yeah, go
he's
ahead.
one of the people CM Punk called him a sweetheart. And if CM
Yeah,
Punk likes you, that means you're just a really nice soul that gets along with everybody. So
yeah,
yeah, I think he's one of those people that is a vibes person. So he got back home, got with his family and stuff, just cleared his head, and yeah, he's just vibing now.
yeah. And like what's funny is people always like label me the Adam Cole hater, but like um there's just something funny. I don't know what belt they used at one time when he held up the AEW belt, but the one belt he held up, it looked huge when he held it. But he in my opinion, he's where he belongs right now, and he's pretty
Yep.
good in this position. Um, and now we'll get we'll get to this. So, how did you get into wrestling, Kuya?
Yeah, it's actually funny. I used to hate wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah. When I was a kid, my dad used to watch like the Saturday morning shows,
mm,
and that would interfere with, and I'd hate it because it would come on after the cartoon. And so in my mind, this wrestling was interfering with Saturday morning cartoons, and we could have more Saturday morning cartoons if the
ah,
wrestling wasn't on. So I hated it. And then I don't think I was maybe not in junior high just yet, maybe like fifth or sixth grade. I was around that age. I might have been in junior high, but I don't think I was
yeah,
quite there yet. Um, and I was at my grandparents' house, my dad's parents, up in Tennessee, and my parents live or grew up in West Tennessee, so they were close to Memphis. So they grew up watching like Jerry Jarrett, Memphis wrestling, and all that, and Jerry Lawler.
cool.
And so my pop, my grandfather, he would always occasionally turn on Nitro because he grew up watching wrestling
Yeah,
and Crockett Promotions and all that. So he would throw that on every once in a blue moon just to see what was going on. And one time he threw it on, and Flying Brian Pillman was on the screen, and he straight up did like a springboard reverse clothesline,
hell
and
yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. I had no clue. I thought you just bounced off the ropes and you like did punches and clotheslines. And when I saw that, instantly I was hooked. Been a wrestling fan ever since. And then when I got into junior high and into high school, the NWO picked up.
Yeah,
And so when I was in school, it was like Stone Cold, Steve Austin shirts, NWO shirts, DX shirts, all that stuff,
Hell yeah.
like the Rock shirts. And I just happened to like get into wrestling right when that boom happened. I've been a hardcore fan ever since. When I started to find out like a little bit here and there about like the backstage stuff and people jumping ship and everything from WCW to WWF
Yeah.
and back and forth and stuff, like the backstage stuff hooked me, and I've just been a fan ever since. So yeah, I don't know, just seeing that one springboard from Brian Pillman, that hooked me. Like I was just like, wow, I didn't know these things could happen. And then once I started to get a chance to watch more WCW, and seeing the cruiserweights and stuff,
Hell
that was
yeah.
my jam. That's what I love to watch, and I've been that way ever since. Will Ospreay is like my favorite wrestler because he just goes insane. And then there's Ricochet back in his prime. He's doing great now. I love him. I was one of those people that told people to chill on the AEW hate when he first came in and just
Hey.
let him get adjusted and see what happened. I also noticed that the correlation from pants to
Yeah.
trunks. I was one
I
of the first
told
people
you.
to point that out too. Yep. And then
The pants
so
were
yeah,
cursed.
they do. I love, as a lot of people like to coin it, grapple fuck. And I do love a good chain wrestling spot that
Yeah.
gets my juices going. And then I love high flying. So what my favorite match of all time that maybe is nothing has made me feel close to anything like that is the Will Ospreay Bryan Danielson match.
Ooh.
Um,
From last year.
that thing,
Uh,
dude, I couldn't sit still in my seat. I didn't know what to do with my hands. My heart was pumping. I've never felt that way watching a match, and I have fallen in love with plenty of matches where I was just like, "This is one of those matches that's going to live in infamy." But nothing tops that match for me. That was everything I wanted in a match
uh,
from two people who I love watching them do what they do.
yeah.
The Will doesn't get enough credit for being a technical wizard, and Brian doesn't get enough of respect for being a high flyer. And
Yeah.
so when you got both these guys who are the exception, the tippy top in their style of wrestling, who are
Yeah.
also very good in the other person's style of wrestling, it was just magic.
Yeah. Cause
And
yeah, man, it's great. It's a great match.
dude, I just I went back and watched it again. I almost never watch matches and stuff like that again.
Yeah.
As some of the guys on our Discord know, I'm very much a live wrestling
In the
person.
moment.
Only-
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I'll go back and watch anything in the past is if I'm watching with some guys on the Discord. We'll like watch DDT together, Sentai Girls, Tokyo Joshi Pro,
Yeah.
Sonus, things like that. I'll watch it with them because watching it with, quote unquote, the guys makes it more fun. But if it
Yeah.
wasn't for them, I wouldn't watch stuff like that by myself. For me, it's like almost live or nothing at all. I know some people like to go back and study old matches and stuff. I prefer to live in the moment. Very rarely will I go back in and watch something. I watch clips and stuff, but like I saw the clip of Dom Mysterio jumping out of the ring and hitting a DDT. Got to give credit where credit is due. I don't like him as a
Hey,
wrestler. I think he's not that great, but that was a cool spot. So
I
yeah,
gotta.
I'd prefer to
Yeah.
watch the stuff in clips versus watching old matches. But I respect it and I can appreciate it for what it is. I'm just not much of a tape watcher, if you will.
Yeah, I understand that much, man. Because you got in watching Nitro live. You you didn't get in with the tapes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us who go and watch old footage, we got in with like best ofs or whatever. So I understand like watching in the moment.
Yeah, I wasn't. I've never been a tape trader. Like my wife was a tape trader for anime.
Oh hell
But
yeah.
by the time I even got into anime, like you could just, even with 56K, you could just the files were still like root player encoded, so they were small, so you could still download that stuff and just watch it on your computer. So yeah, I've just never been much of a tape trader or anything like that. I did go into some news groups when I was younger, watch some like Dragon Gate USA stuff like that. I watched a little bit of regular Dragon Gate.
Yeah.
That's like, for instance, how I discovered BB Hulk and SEMA, things like that.
Yeah.
So, and then that helped me get into just fall. I would. loosely following the Japanese scene. Just like I would recognize names here or there, but never actually having watched them wrestle or anything.
Uh,
Um, but now I'm into the scene a lot more than I used to be because I really just like DDT. It scratches every itch I've got for wrestling. So,
that's cool, man. I
um,
mean, they have hot,
yeah.
sexy men. We gotta go over this, man. Okay, I know you're straight. I know I'm straight. But like,
Look,
good God, how did they
look,
find those men? It's
look.
like,
You can appreciate a man's physical attractiveness and
uh,
build and still be straight. There's nothing wrong with that. You just love aesthetically pleasing things, and that's
yeah.
how I look at things. Like you
But
can't tell me Swerve and Hanger aren't aesthetically pleasing. I mean, come on now.
yeah, we all looked at that hanger titty mouse pad. Um,
Hey, I
hey,
mean, it is what it is.
hey, oh yeah, man. Like, there's something like whoever in DDT or however they're recruiting, because like they also run a talent agency, and so a lot of these guys are actually idols and actors. So like,
Yeah,
if the
makes
actor is
sense.
like interested in going into wrestling, that's all up to them. They're not forced to do it. They want to do it because they're a fan of it. And
Yeah.
people don't think about that, but like, yo, these like who's that guy? Who's that really muscly? Is it Takeshi or something? Or Te whatever. The one with the long hair. What's his name?
Talking about was it Masada?
Yeah, is that Masada? The
He's in
one?
he's with Chris Brooks in the Schadenfreude International. That one,
Yeah, yeah. No,
that guy.
there's also that super buff one that he's like beautiful. He has long hair, kind of. But Takanashi, is that it? But yeah, or something.
Trying to think off the top of my head. Because
But
there's not like a lot of like buff guys in
yeah,
DDT. So
just like the butt, because I know that's why I'm saying like he has that one picture where he's flexing and like the arms are like it's like
now Takanashi, Masa Takanashi does have long hair, um, but he's not super buff. He's
yeah. Well, it's the
kind
super
of
buff guy. I think it's not Canon. Well, Canon came back really buff too, and I think he
yeah.
tag
No,
teams with Canon.
well,
Um,
there's Mao.
oh yeah, Mao
Talking
is
about
beautiful
Mao.
too. No, no, no.
Yeah, Mao,
Yeah,
Mao is just a specimen.
we'll get back to it. He, yeah. Now I'm gonna like now we sound like gooners, but
Hey man, Mao's just a beautiful soul, beautiful
hey,
person. You
yeah.
know.
Uh, I'm not watching this Best of Super Juniors because like I'm like I don't want
I
to see
gotta.
him lose. I don't want to see him lose, and
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just tuning in
I,
when he wins. When I see that he wins, I'm like, okay, I gotta see that match.
I
Cause
gotta
like,
catch up on. I haven't started yet, but I want to. Even the
yeah,
ones he loses, I want to watch
yeah.
him.
Cause he's so much better than everybody in that lineup. Um, yeah, I love Desperado,
Yeah,
but like Mao is like somebody you could put like on posters and like he could be like the main guy if you want.
he
Um,
needs to be signed by AEW because he transcends
he
language
speaks
easily.
English too. He speaks fluent English.
Does he?
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, he speaks fluent
yeah.
English. If you ever
AEW is happening.
hey, if you ever see his like his ex, he like is always making references to like 2000s pop punk, and like he's always making like he's always talking like he's tweeting in English. So like yeah, if there's somebody I would
Okay.
get, someone that has like those aesthetics, and it's so weird to me that American Pro Wrestling hasn't like really invested in the idols, because like
I
it's
see
like
now. I do agree with that, but also I think people, when they get into this argument, need to step back and remember the people for that wrestle in Japan who are Japanese need to want to leave Japan. Not everybody is like
oh
me
yeah,
who wants to wrestle in America. Now we can get into that why TK hasn't signed her because that blows my mind. That's a slam dunk.
she wants to
And
be
she wants
here.
to,
She's
yeah,
always here like
mhm.
half of the year.
Yep. She's
She's
already
been
said
trying
she wants
to.
to. Dude, she has, and maybe this past couple weeks, whenever it was she wrestled recently, hopefully that was enough for TK to finally,
Yeah,
pull the trigger because obviously he's given another look.
yeah. That
And
Tony
you
match
can't
was
tell me.
excellent.
I'll just say this: it's amazing how me got another shot only a couple of months after Kenny came back.
Oh yeah. Hey, I gotta we gotta talk about Kenny, and I'm not gonna go into that. That's that
No,
goes.
I don't mean it that way. I mean that he's just
Yeah, I hope he
on the
has more
air.
booking influence because the last time that the women's
Yeah,
division like really hit for me was when they were flying in the imports. Um,
there are two people that I think he should absolutely sign.
it's Mew and Mew.
Besides, yes, besides Maki, because she's already over. But if he signs those two, they transcend language and all that. They'd be super over
God.
with the AW crowd.
Imagine she hits that Miyu Watanabe. She hits that giant swing on somebody like Chris or Statlander. I mean Chris Statlander or she hit it on Willow, so she could definitely do
Dude,
it on Stat, and she could definitely do it on Megan
yeah,
Bayne. So
crowd would pop so hard.
I like she already has like those pop star looks, and like it's
Hmm.
like yeah, you keep her away from Titan Towers, please,
Hmm.
please. Oh my God, keep Miyu
I
over there
almost don't think
too.
she. I almost don't. I almost don't think Miyu wants to go there. I feel like she's smart enough to see how they trade most of the Japanese talent,
Yeah,
and I think she really wants to wrestle for AEW because even though they're
yeah.
not as presented often, they're still presented in a better light.
Yeah, they're kind of they're preserved in the way like what what their actual presentation was. I mean, not to
Hmm.
shit on like Julia because Julia is actually doing good work in NXT, and so is Stephanie Paquer, and they're actually pretty good. And they're over because
But
talent always shines
they're
through.
you're right, but they're still in NXT, so that speaks for
Yeah,
itself.
yeah. Um, you said this a little earlier because I know the story about Dragon Ball and in your life. Do you want to say how you and the lovely Mrs. Jag will bet?
Oh yeah, no, it's really simple. Dragon Ball was the first anime. Well, I guess Sailor Moon, but when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
Dragon Ball was really the Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network. I was watching that hooked me in.
Hell yeah.
And so get on the internet looking for more Dragon Ball content. And I found like this role playing group that were on IRC and they had this bot that was like a battle bot. And so you role played and then you had battles with it. And then once I got on the IRC, I started learning how it worked. And then there's like the Who feature and you could see what channels people were in.
Yeah.
So then I would go to other channels and I would start to find out how to download anime through IRC and start to broaden my anime horizons. Got hooked more and more into anime, and then I followed this one person into a fan sub group that was fan subbing the Shonen Ai series Gravitation,
Mm.
and my wife was in there. And I'm like 19, 20, so cracking stupid perverted jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And my wife, she matched my energy. Nothing I said was like too out of pocket for her. And so then we started, just DMing. And then it went from there. Eventually, I visited her, she visited me. And then at one point, she said she's tired of this long distance thing, and she's got her own career out in California that's
Yeah.
established, which she got her degree for. So she's like, if I wanted to make this work, I needed to move out there to be with her because I was just working at Papa John's,
Yeah.
and and I could easily get a job out there doing the same thing. And so I just moved out there to California, and we were out there for 2 years. She got pregnant, we got married,
Hell
moved
yeah.
back to my family here in Jacksonville because it's cheaper cost of living.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I met her in, as I like to say, in a gay anime chat room.
Hey.
But I
Uh,
mean, hey, it is what it is. Hey, whatever works. You get however you get out there and talk to people. It doesn't matter the method. There's somebody out there for you. And I remember early on, sometimes I'd wonder if I really did love her or if I just, was into her because she, accepted me for who I am. But
yeah.
like, we're going on our 21st anniversary in August. We have a kid that's already graduated high school. We got two
Oh
more
man.
in high school. I've don't think I've ever been more in love with her than I am right now. So yeah, it's been good.
Oh
Um,
man, I love
yeah.
that for you guys. I love love. Nothing. I'm a little bit teary right now. Uh, I love I love love stories. Um, I love subverting stereotypes because like here we are, we're two men sharing this when we never would have met if we didn't watch wrestling, and you never would have met your wife if you didn't watch anime. And like
Yeah, no,
I
for sure.
I think these connections that we make as people is like you never know where it leads, and
Hmm.
that story is beautiful. Yeah, and like it makes me feel good to like know like that you guys are able to find each other because sometimes
Well,
it takes
she wasn't even looking. She
yeah.
was on the rebound. She had just gone out of a relationship, and we talked for a long time because she was getting her master's up in
Uh,
Boston.
okay.
And she was like, I don't want to even make this official till you see a picture of me, and I can't get to show you a picture until I get back home on spring break. So it was like not quite a year. I'd say probably half a year to 9 months before I even got to see what she looked like, and she already knew what I looked like.
Hmm.
But yeah, what are the odds? She was just in there, to download anime episodes, and that's what happened. Like I said, she wasn't looking. We just talked for a while, but because again, she didn't want it to be official. She wanted to make sure I was cool with how she looked. But during that time, we talked like every day, and we just realized that we fit each other. So yeah.
Yeah. And I want to let the audience know that it's possible to be a nerd and find love. It's possible. It's possible to
Yeah,
find
no, for
nerds that
sure.
want love too. Um, and like, we talk about like culture and all this. And I asked you this I asked you this before you came on, like, so were you able to get like an answer on your wife's favorite Filipino dishes?
Yeah, she doesn't really have a favorite per se, but her answer was any kind of pancit.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. She'll eat pretty much anything. But she said that, and she said her favorite dessert was ube.
Oh yeah. I love ube. I
Um,
love that ube is so popular nowadays. You go to any bake shop and there's always some ube. You go to Starbucks now and there's ube. There's like a ube like latte now. So like
Not over here.
oh well, yeah. Well over here
But
we have them, but
there is like a little Filipino area in
yeah.
Jacksonville. Unfortunately, it's like an hour drive from where we're at, but because of how Jacksonville's set up, it doesn't matter how close you are, it can still be far away.
Uh
But there's like a famous bakery over in California, famous Filipino bakery,
yeah.
and the son moved over here
Oh.
and opened his own bakery around the corner from the first Jollibee in
Oh,
Florida,
okay.
which is also in Jacksonville. So there's like this little Filipino area growing. And so yeah, sometimes we go over there and we get some stuff from the Filipino bakery, and that's where she gets
Right.
her ube and stuff from.
Yeah, the panda ube, the pandesals, all that stuff. That's
I,
like
I I always make sure I get the Toron while I'm there too. 'Cause I love
turon.
Toron so much.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I love turon. That's like okay, so to explain to people, that's like imagine a banana and an egg roll fused and then it's glazed.
I just say it's banana lumpia.
Yeah, banana lumpia. Imagine a glazed banana lumpia. Like that that's like ooh. That's one of my favorites, honestly. I love that. Like and my mom and my aunts used to make it by hand all the time. So like
Yeah.
it's like
I've made it too for Christmas. It's
oh,
there's the intricate way, which apparently I don't do, and then the simple way, which apparently I do.
yeah.
But I had fun making it. It was pretty cool.
There's a way to fold it. Oh, see, like you're so pretty. Like, okay, let me say this to people. Okay, like in Asian culture, right? There's dumpling rolling, and then for like also for Filipinos, I also did some dumpling rolling. But we also did like there's a mastery of doing lumpias. There's an easy way to
Mhm.
do it. You just put it inside the filling inside, and you just roll it. And then there's like the secret master way of like you put the filling inside and then you fold it intricately so that it and like it's like crazy. Um, Yeah, man. I love hearing that.
I was taught by my mother-in-law, so I probably do it or I probably did it the intricate way. I've already forgotten how to do it, but
Hey,
yeah.
like it's like riding a bicycle, man. I remember
Yeah.
I made my wife because surprisingly my wife she's Chinese. She never did the dumpling making with her grandma, but
Mm,
with my grandma, she like sat down and made like we made lumpia for a family party, and you know you've been to a family party, how many people are going to that? We're doing it all
hmm
by hand, and yeah,
hmm
so no better way to bond with Lola than just like making some
Oh
lumpias.
yeah, it was her and her sisters and cousins, sisters-in-law. I don't, the aunties.
Yeah,
And I was just walking through the kitchen. She was like, "Hey, you want to help?" And I was like, "I'm not going to tell my mother-in-law no."
hell yeah.
So yeah, there I am, one white guy in the middle of like I was like four or five, like older Filipino women, and just helping roll lumpia, and they're asking me 20 questions and stuff, because we got her daughter's husband here. Let's ask him a bunch of questions. So
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
that's fucking that's so it brings me back. It brings me back. I like like I had like a like I said like an Uncle Bill, and like he'd always like come up to us and it's like, "Hey boys, you watch the game?" But like and then like he'd speak like Tagalog because he was like in the Navy. Shout out to the
Oh, of
Navy. Shout out
course.
to the Filipino Mafia.
I
Um,
mean, that's where pretty much all the Filipinos in this area come from, with having when I growing up having three naval bases. So
yeah.
that's
So
how my dad knows Filipino food, actually.
hey, yeah, my I got cousins in there. I got uncles in there. I got generations in
Mm,
the Navy. So I got a nephew in the Navy now. Like that's how old I feel now.
nice.
But,
Yeah, no, for sure.
but like
My nephew's in college. It's like, oh geez, I remember when he was three.
oh yeah. Oh man. We're talking about aging because I'm 40. You're about to be 44. Like it's
Hmm
2025, but I still feel like, it's not 2025. Because
Yeah, my oldest is 20, and it's just like, jeez.
geez.
Yeah,
But we're still living.
somehow.
Somehow. Yeah. So when I eat dinner, I usually like to eat dessert. Um, I know we got your wife's answer for one of these, but like, what's your favorite dessert, man?
Oh, my favorite dessert. It would probably have to be. First thing that comes to mind is probably cheesecake.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
It's so good
It's
in every application.
like I'm getting older now, so sweets overwhelm me pretty easily. Like
Hey.
yesterday, I had or maybe it was a couple of days ago, two scoops of like Culver's ice cream, and I was like, I'm done. I can't. But for whatever reason, I can still put away cheesecake no matter how sweet it is. I'll just it's going down. So, um, yeah, that or number one might be, and because I can't get it here, it's probably number two now is Baskin Robbins peanut butter and chocolate ice cream.
Mm. Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
just went to Baskin Robbins yesterday.
uh, but I would say mainly cheesecake is pretty much any kind of cheesecake,
Hell
especially from
yeah.
Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, I
I'm
love
down for
Cheesecake
it.
Factory. When
Yeah,
you go to like
unfortunately, it's
after
an hour
those
away.
yeah, after you get to those 400 pages and you get to the back and it has all those cheesecakes lined up, and then in the center there's the insert with the seasonal cheesecake, and like
Mhm.
it's all these like choices. So what's your go-to at Cheesecake Factory?
It's been so long, I don't remember what all they have, but I do remember one time we went and bought a key lime cheesecake,
Oh
and
yeah,
that was really good. So I'll say that by default, but also any chocolate peanut butter combination cheesecake, well,
oh
I will
yeah.
always drift towards.
Oh bro, I just went to like our local Food for Less, and they had the Reese's pie in there, and I bought a Reese's pie and a Hershey pie, and I can't wait to tear into that. But I know, like you, I am also in the blood sugar line, so I gotta make sure like it's all, I'm all set
Yeah,
up right before I go to bed dig into that.
mhm,
But
for sure.
yeah, I love peanut butter chocolate too, man. Something about that mix, and Yeah, dude.
They're coming out. Nutella's coming out with a new spread. It's a peanut butter. It's a chocolate flavored peanut butter spread.
Mm.
Yeah, so have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, man. We also like in our personal Discord, we also like always like post like whatever food we have we're eating, and like you guys, you always like post some of the most like decadent, yummy looking food, man. It's like I'm on like it's like lunchtime and now I'm like just opening up the food channel. I was like, oh, Jag again. Oh man, look at Kuya with this. Mm. And like I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I like to share it because it's good food. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're just going out on a lunch date.
yeah,
It's a time for us to go out and just hang out together with each other and enjoy time with no kids around and stuff, and just relax. So, but I know there's a lot of foodies in our Discord, so I like to throw that in there because I know they'll appreciate it.
yeah, I do.
And it's the South, like you can throw a rock and 10 feet away, you'll hit some good food. So,
What are your couple of always hitters for Southern food?
well, I and I know we talked about this just for a second before the we started, but if I go to a new place and they've got country fried steak on the menu, I
Yeah.
have to get it because I will judge the place on the country fried steak.
Oh man, a pounded out country fried steak with some good gravy and some biscuits
Hmm.
maybe.
Yep.
I always like it for breakfast, 'cause I
Hmm.
always like the biscuits with the gravy, and then you get like a sunny side up egg, and like, oh man, that all just, and like
For sure.
that goes on to say, like, some hooligans will say country fried, or they'll say Texas fried. Uh, I like chicken fried. It always makes more sense to me to say chicken fried steak because of like the technique it's used. But maybe
See,
like,
I don't think it does because there's also like chicken fried chicken. And it's like that's just fried chicken.
yeah.
Like it's just fried food. Like you don't call it chicken fried chicken nuggets. You don't call it, you know, chicken fried sweet and sour pork or whatever. It's
Hmm.
just you know, chicken fried Snickers. It's just deep fried and battered, and
Why
that's
do they
why I
call it
think
chicken fried steak? I,
good question. Like it's fried chicken is not the only thing that's battered and deep fried. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think it just made make more sense to call it fried steak and just not have anything at the front.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
because I also like katsu because katsu is like a
Yeah.
breaded thing. Like they do katsu fried steak, but they don't. They just call it katsu steak and katsu pork, katsu chicken. They don't say
Yeah.
it's like a style of what's cooked, but it's like it's just that kind of just means fried. So yeah, what
Yep.
you're saying makes sense. If the Japanese do it, I mean, we follow a lot of
Yeah.
what the Japanese do. But yeah, man. Yeah, Kuya. It's been great to have you on here. I really
Hmm.
appreciate you for sharing those stories with me, sharing your time
Hmm.
with me, and like
Of course.
it's like it gives me you put me in a really good place. I'm not that I was in a bad place, but I'm in just such a good mood right now. I just wanted to tell you like because like I've been learning so much talking to people from all over the globe, right?
Hmm.
Because like I talk to people like you from Florida, from New York, Seattle, Texas, Mexico, India, Australia, and people think like thinks that's like hard, but like you just go on one Discord and all these different people from all these different countries are watching pro wrestling.
True. 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 Yep.
And it's funny that this is what connects us as like the common thread. And yeah, man, I'm thankful that I've
Hmm.
been able to meet you and talk to you for so many years. And like
Same.
I'm not hoping that I know we're gonna keep talking for forever long we're gonna be talking on this earth. So yeah, man, I wanna thank you for being on my show and thank you for showing me such grace and such uh Yeah, man, this has been a really great talk.
Yeah, it
Um,
was my pleasure, man. Thank you for having me on.
yeah, and I usually ask, this is like the final question I always ask is like, what do you want your rainbow to say? Because like, just imagine like a rainbow is in the sky and it has your message to the world. What would it be?
Hmm. Ah, I know. It ain't that deep.
Ah, hell yeah. I hope your wife's not saying that.
I'm working on that, man. It's part of losing the weight.
All
You
right.
get the fat layers down.
Yeah,
So
yeah. All right, man. Yeah, that's wonderful.
yeah, I'm working on it. Just
Hey,
gotta get the exercise part, but I'm
hey,
working on the diet. So
yeah.
step by step.
Hey, I believe in you. I believe in you. But yeah, thanks for
Appreciate it.
coming. Thanks for coming on my show. You could catch us on probably one of your favorite wrestling discords. I don't know which ones those would be because I'm on too many, or anime discords. This guy I talked to loves trashy sekais. That's what he's known for.
Yeah,
And
everybody's got that one itch that has to be scratched, even if they know it's the weird one.
hey, yeah. I mean, I like some bad anime. I like that
Got
platinum
it.
whatever it was.
It's nice to be able to turn your brain off sometimes and just
Yeah,
enjoy stupid media.
yeah. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yep, for sure. Glad to be here.